All right, let's finish our landscape. We're going to turn it from night, as you can see here, into day. So first thing we want to do is to move into the time where we made the stars disappear around here, 4 seconds. We're going to make a new layer. Go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer on top of everything. Go to your effects and presets, and we're going to look for curves. Add that onto the adjustment layer. And what we want to do is to first turn on the keyframe. So we have a normal keyframe. Let's hit U, bring the keyframe around 3 seconds. On 4 seconds, where the sun is out, we're going to remove the blueness from this landscape and also lighten up the colors. So to do that, go to Channel, get Red, first get Blue, and we're going to go down, and this simply removes the blue from the screen. Go to Green, remove the green, and then we're going to go to Red, and we want to just add some red to this. And we have this middle line, which we're just gonna move upwards. So you can see it's slowly turning to day. All right, there's some problem in the illustration. It's fine. Your illustrations will probably be fixed, so you won't have this. Okay, so after we did this, you can see that it goes from this and slowly turns to day. But we're not done yet, so go back to 4 seconds to where you were, and we're going to add another effect called Color Balance. Get the HSL one, Hue, Luminance, and Saturation. Place it on top of that adjustment layer, and want to add like a value of +7 to this, or you can go around and see what color works for you. You can go for a reddish color. I'm going to stick with a +5. So we have a nice blue thing going on. Let's reduce the saturation. Okay, so we don't have that much blue going on. Add to remove 2 points from lightness. I'm going to go back to the curves and just add to that white line, which is just a brightness. And we just add some brightness to the whole look. Come down to all 3 of these and turn on their stopwatches. Go back to the previous keyframe and set them to 0. Okay. Let's hit U on color balance. Just hit U again. We're gonna look at these, and if the timing is not right, we can just work with the keyframes. So it's gonna be night, and then as the sun comes up, it's going to be morning. And the deer is just going away. All right, so another thing that you can do if you want to do that is to add some light to the mountains. So I'm going to call this night today. That's the adjustment layer. So to do that, we're going to get another adjustment layer, Layer New, Adjustment Layer. Call this Light. Go to Curves again. Add that to Light. You can lock night to day so you don't accidentally add an effect to that. And we're first going to just add some extra light to this. Come in here and then compare. So instead of this, we have light. And we're going to just get the pen tool on top of light and create where, select the area where the sun would reflect on. So that would be the tips of this mountain. Just select it roughly. Okay, you don't have to go all the way, just get the and then do this, something like that. We're going to feather out the edges, don't worry. Let's alt click on this part and just make a point here in the center. So we can get something like that. Add more points if needed. Now that we have this, we can hit M twice on light and just feather out the edges so it doesn't look that sharp. Lower the opacity. And there we are. So after the sun is fully out, we're going to make a keyframe for mask path. Around, like before the sun isn't there, we're going to, let's actually do one here. So right here, when the transition is happening, we're going to just kind of close in this effect. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to work with the opacity. Something like this, and then as it comes up, it's going to expand. All right, so here, we're going to go to mask opacity, turn it to, this keyframe, turn on the mask opacity, go back to the previous keyframe and just make this 0. So it's going to be like that, and then slowly the sun is going to show up. You can bring this here, bring it in closer. So you can see the mountains are slowly starting to get illuminated. Like that. It looks better. And we can also add that same effect on the water, just to indicate that the sun is here, although the water is getting brighter as it is, so we don't have to do that. All right, we have this going on. Do want to add a tint to this. Look for tint, unlock the night to day, and add that onto night to day. So the map black, we want to keep it to just like a greenish color, a dark green color. Map white, we want to set that to something orange, like get a light orange. Then just lower the amount to tint. So it's a slight correction from the blue that we had. We don't want that much blue. Okay, let's make it 40%. Okay. I'm going to go back to black and change that up. Try to find a color. I think this brown color is better. Make this 20%. That's better. It's a slight correction. Okay, so for the tint, you want this effect to only take place when it starts to become morning. So turn on the keyframe for all. And not for all, just for this one, amount to tint. Hit U on this again so we can get the tint. Come in here when it's not morning yet and turn it to 0. Hit M. Let's have a look. Hit U on it again to close it off. So we have the deer, we have everything animating. And it's slowly going to change the hue, and now it's morning. Just like that. And for the light, I'm going to hit U on this. For the mask path, I want it to completely cover up the mountain. So just expand this like so. And over here, we're going to turn the opacity to 50%. so it's not really there anymore. You can see that the light covers up the thing. I'm going to close these in. You can actually delete the middle keyframe. So there's no pause, it just expands the mountain. And we want it to come in sooner. So around here, these two should finish their job. There we are. We can even bring these first keyframes back. So it's a little slow. Just like so. Bring it in even quicker. All right. So mask opacity. We have 0% here. Let's delete the middle one. So that's better. Let's hit F9 on all of those layers. Hit M. And we have our water layer to animate. You can see it's between the layers. Let's duplicate the water layer. Okay, turn off the water 2. Go to warp. Add that onto the original water. That's a lot of bending. Let's turn warp axis to vertical. And once we bend it, you can see we're getting something like this. So let's hit 0. We want the water to just keep moving. So turn on the bend and come in maybe 1 second. Add a small amount to it, like 5. Don't worry about this. Go to 2, 0. Then go to -5. I'm going to hit U on water so I can see the keyframes. 4 seconds. Let's go to 0 again. And then we're just working with these until we reach the end of our composition. All right, we can also change the horizontal or vertical distortion if it's too much. So horizontal would be this way. Mostly I want it to be vertical. See, it's coming in and out. So we want to add a vertical distortion too. So come in between these keyframes. Turn on vertical distortion. Hit U on water again so we can see those. And let's add like 9. So it comes in like that. Hit, go back to 0. Just copy 9. And I'm going to select all of these, hold down Alt or Option, and just expand these like that. So it's more random. So now the water is kind of like moving around. Okay. Now we don't want it to move out. So I'm going to hit T on it and have a look at where it covers. All right, then selecting that, get your rectangle tool, and we're going to make a mask around here. Okay, hit M twice. And we're just gonna keep that in there. So now the warp motion is going to only take place there. We can even go on mask path, Control T, just maybe make it a little less intense. So it's like moving, it's a really gentle movement. Let's hit T on water and bring back the opacity. Bring it up here. So the water is just moving. Now to make sure that it doesn't come out, we can turn on, let's turn off water. Go to water 2, turn it on. get the rectangle tool and just bring in the tip of the line. Then open mask, and we're going to feather out the edges of this, just a slight bit. Now when this goes on top, it will make sure that it doesn't come out of the lines. You can see that the water is moving, but it's not disturbing the shore, and everything is just better now. So it's just a slight movement with the wind, and we want to just bring, let's see, actually we're good. So just hit M on these two layers. Let me check my opacity. Okay, it's good. So just have something like that. That is our landscape. Let's have a look at the work one more time, and then we can decide whether we need to add more adjustments or not. So you get something like that over there. Go to water 2, assign the position, hit M twice. It could be that the feather is a bit too much. Let's bring mountains above the water layers. There we are. Close those layers. Let's have another look at our work. And there we are. It's slowly turning into day from night. If you guys want to do it the opposite way, you could just simply switch the curves adjustment and switch the keyframes that we made so it goes from day to night. But make sure that if you're doing day to night, you are also making your reindeer visible. So turn off the fill effect. And yeah, so we simply made this scene using a few of the elements that we already learned. And now we can move on to the other types of scenes, and I'll see you guys in those lessons.